So, who was your biggest inspiration on your journey so far?
My father. My father was an entrepreneur.
What did he do?
He did many things. He had a car wash. He sold. He made artworks. He did construction, and one of his things that he shared with us is that have many different streams of income, and so I'm learning that. Like I said, my background is in social work, and you know when you're working for someone, you just focus on that particular job. But just having this, and how, trying to have it do other things. I have the salad dressing, but just doing many things with the salad dressing, like getting it in salad bars where they have the Mama Power dressing next to their ranch. You know what I mean? So
I wish. Amazing.
yeah, look for that as comment.
Yeah.
But just being an entrepreneur is what inspired me. My father inspired me to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Well, welcome, Asiah. It is so awesome to have you today. Thank you so much for joining this kind of campaign that we have going on at Nuts and Berries. We are going to be doing a whole bunch of interviews with local Black-owned businesses all through the month of February, and highlighting your products, your story, your mission, and how we can really use your wonderful story to kind of inspire the next generation of small business owners,
Yeah.
and product makers. And so I'm really, really excited to talk to you today and be able to share your story. I know we had talked back last year at one of our events a little bit about your dressing, your salad dressing, and why you made it. But if you could tell me and just kind of like go over all that again, because I think it's a really, really cool story.
Yeah, so I created the Mama Power product out of sheer desperation, really. My son, who is a picky eater, he did not like any vegetables that were not yellow or red, right? So he ate tomatoes and he ate corn, basically. And so one year I had a garden, and I'm like, everything is going to get eaten, okay? And so I said, well, what can I do to make it more enjoyable for him and just my whole family? Because my sister is a picky eater, my husband sometimes, and my best friend. And she makes she makes everything from scratch because she's just that type of person. But I'm like, who has the time? And so I was craving a kale salad, and I said, well, I want to make, what can I put on here to make it, good? And I like stuff that's a little spicy and a little sweet, right? And so does my son. And so I mixed up some things, my ingredients: sun-dried tomatoes, a little agave, a little cayenne, and garlic, and some other secret ingredients. And he liked it. And from there, I just started making, I call it kale salad dressing. That's why I call it kale salad dressing. And I call my company Mama Power Foods because I felt powerful when I made the dressing, because it was such a struggle. Like I said, I was so desperate to get him to eat, other vegetables, green leafy vegetables, because I grew up vegetarian, and I just thought that was just abomination that he would just not eat any, green vegetables. I didn't grow up like that, so I wanted him to, have stuff that was, good for him to eat, that, that was raw vegetables. And so that is why I created the dressing. Um, and I just started selling it because I would have, little dinner parties with my friend girls, and I had to bring something, and I brought kale salad. And from there, it was like, and I just started selling it.
So how did you go from bringing it to dinner parties with your girlfriends to having a whole business and creating a label and selling it at stores?
Because they would be asking me to make it for them. They will be asking me to make it. And then my children's school also have like these fundraisers, which are like fish fries. And so every parent had to bring something. And so they were like, well, Asiah, you should bring your kale salad. So I started bringing that to the fish fries for the fundraiser. And so then a wider community of people learned about the dressing. And then now when they have fish fries, I cannot come without the kale salad. And the schools now pay me to make kale salad for the fish fries. And so from there, I said, because people are like, oh, actually, you got something there. You got some here. You have something. And that inspired me to jar it up. And I was I didn't really legitimize the business until maybe about 5 years after that. Because I just didn't. When people asked me, I would make it, or I would cater. I did small catering, things of that sort. But now I see when I go to like festivals and I vend, or just various things in the community, or in the Atlanta area, Decatur area, I am vending the kale salad dressing, and it's not only helped me and my family, it's helped other mothers of picky eaters, or people who are on a want to do they on their raw food journey, or they want to eat more salads, or just something that's a one and done for people who don't have time for all of that. They just want to pour it on there, mix it in, and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So what were the biggest obstacles you had to overcome as you kind of went from your, putting a label on it and then getting into stores? Like, what was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome?
Learning the regulatory things that need to go into food business. Because I have entrepreneurs in my family, but it's not anything that's a packaged good. Mm-hmm. So just learning what it entails to have a food business, because it's another whole beast than having a car wash or a tire shop, or or you sewing clothes. This is right. Different.
Right.
So just learning that. I didn't have any mentors in it. I'm still kind of looking for a mentor in the food industry, because I feel like some of the things that I'm doing, I feel like I'm inventing the wheel, but I know it's nothing new under the sun. Somebody had to have gone through the same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah, and honestly, Asiah, that's what I'm hoping to do with this kind of movement that I'm starting this month. Is I'm interviewing a whole bunch of different people and looking and seeing what things they need help with and things that they do really well. And then my goal ultimately is to be able to bring y'all together so that okay. you can talk to each other, you can share the things that you do well, and they can share the things they do well with you. Because I think that's what community is all about. And I think
that'd be great.
Amazing thing with Atlanta, that there's some really, really awesome things. You're dressing. I use it all the time. I love it. And I really don't like kale. So when I do put it on kale, it makes me happy, but I put it on my spinach on a regular basis.
Yeah, you can put it on anything. You put it on pasta, salmon, chicken. If you're not vegan,
it is really,
you can put it on anything.
Yeah.
Except for pancakes.
Oh, well. Somebody does. So let's talk about ingredients for a minute. I know you have your secret ingredients, so I'm not going to ask you to reveal that. But we, at Nuts and Berries, one of the things that's important to us is that we we can communicate to our customers that, they're getting a certain level of quality. And, non-GMO is one of those things that is a big deal to us. So tell me about your ingredient standards and why they're important to you and your community.
Well, like I said, I grew up vegetarian, organic. That was just the norm in my household. So having products that have one or two, less than 10 ingredients is something that I look for when I'm purchasing things for my family, and that is something that is just a deal breaker for my product. We use we try to stay with everything that is organic as much as possible, but pretty much everything, let me just say, is organic because that's just what I require to give to my family and give to anybody else's family.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. So I know supply chain has been an issue for a lot of different people. Have you been impacted at all by the COVID supply chain break in any way with your ingredients or any of your packaging or anything?
Well, yeah, the packaging, not the ingredients so much, but the packaging, it's just really hard to get glass. I started off with glass jars, but now we use a food grade plastic jar. That's pretty much it's how we've been impacted by COVID.
Yeah. We've seen that in quite a few of our suppliers, where anything from lids to it's just been all over the place. So what
Yeah.
are the two things that you do every day in order to show up successfully, in order to be able to, make your business a success?
Two things that I do every day. Well, for me, it's only I have a small company now, because I expect to take this thing nationwide, or
Right.
worldwide. But for me, it's just I just try to make sure that I have a quality product and that I am following up with my vendors. Because for me, it's like if I don't have product, I don't know. I just feel I feel away. I feel like, oh, somebody just ordered 10 cases and I don't have 10 cases. So I just try to make sure that the product is available, that I'm making sure that I have all of my inventory available to be able to fill orders. And I like doing it. I never thought that I would like selling, selling, or because I wear many hats,
Yeah.
right? In this doing this business, but I never thought that I would like selling and talking about the product and all of that. But I like it because my background is in social work.
Oh, okay. Well, believe it or not, I think food is an important part of social work, and I think that,
Okay.
feeding kids and feeding communities, really good quality, healthy food makes a difference in everything. I think making sure they have the right nutrition. You've been really creative in your way to figure out how to get your son and then other children to eat vegetables, and that's a really big deal. So, who was your biggest inspiration on your journey so far?
My father. My father was an entrepreneur.
What did he do?
He did many things. He had a car wash. He sold. He made artworks. He did construction, and one of his things that he shared with us is that have many different streams of income, and so I'm learning that. Like I said, my background is in social work, and you know when you're working for someone, you just focus on that particular job. But just having this and how trying to have it do other things. you know I have the salad dressing, but just doing many things with the salad dressing, like getting it in salad bars where they have the Mama Power dressing next to their ranch. You know what I mean? So
I wish. Amazing.
yeah, look for that as comment.
Yeah.
But just being an entrepreneur is what inspired me. My father inspired me to be an entrepreneur.
I know you said you were looking for some mentors, and I'm, that my hope is that I can help, help you find some people that maybe would be really, really good, a fit to guide you to your next steps. Because, I'd love to see you, really succeed in a big way, because I think that, I think you're a fantastic product, and I think we could, really do some things with it. What advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Be consistent, follow up, look for the trends in your industry. There's a lot of resources out there for startups, small business administrations, things of that sort. But just basically be consistent and find out what is your why. Why are you doing this? And also really knowing who your customer is, so you know how to tailor your product to or for your customer. And just don't be scared to do it. Have courage, and know that if people like it, it's gonna sell.
That is true.
So,
That is true. So being, we in business ownership, I feel like we encounter a lot of fear, right? We have doubts sometimes, as individual business owners. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you overcome fear?
I just have courage, because my family instilled in me is that faith don't work unless you use it. So you have to have faith that if you know that you have a good product or you have a good service, you have to have faith to know that it's going to manifest. It's going to be whatever you can imagine it to be. And so that's one thing that helps me, continue, is to, I know that I have a good product. Because people tell me every day, they're like, "Hey, Asiah, how you doing? Where the sauce? Where the dressing? Where can I get it?" And I have to have some with me wherever I go in my car. I have to have a case, because I'm gonna see somebody somewhere, and they.
That's amazing, though, right? That's
Yeah,
my favorite.
I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about a product like yours is that you put so much of your heart into it. You put so much of your love into it, and I think that is actually the missing ingredient in so many of the products that are on the grocery store shelves. Is that they come from a factory. There's no love. Nobody loves the boxed cheese, cereal, or chip or whatever on the shelf. They don't. They're not. Hasn't been a human that has put their love into it. And so that's one of my favorite things about your dressing, because I know your story, and I know how much love you put in. So when I eat it, I get a little bit of that love. And I think that's my favorite part about, community and local movement, the local movement for eating. So what's next for Mama Power?
To take it nationwide. I want it nationwide, and all of the little health food stores, such as Nuts and Berries, the mom and pops. Yes, I would like for it to be in Whole Foods and Sprouts and all of that, and Kroger and Walmart. But I really like dealing with people such as yourself, the owners, the CEOs of the mom and pop stores, because like you said, there's no love in really big businesses. It's basically all, just trying to make the absolute money that they can make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The biggest capital gain that they could get. So to take this thing nationwide is what I would love to do. To all of the mom and pop, or middle size
So
Um,
what how have you thought about shipping? Like how you would ship it?
oh yeah, I'm in touch with distributors now on
Okay.
how that would go. Um, I have a friend of mine who does soaps, and he ships it. He has it at Whole Foods, and he ships it, and he's ready to help me do that. So my next step is getting it nationwide, and also to increase my marketing so folks can know about it, so they can know to go to Nuts and Berries
Yeah.
to get it. When they ask me, well, where is it? I say, you can find it at Nuts and Berries or Decatur or Brookhaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my next step will be to increase my marketing, so more people can know about it, and they can know where to purchase it.
That's amazing. So, well, I hope that we can help you with that. And I hope that this interview, as we, put it out on our social networks and, our email blasts, and as we use, snippets of it throughout the month to promote, your dressing in our store, that we can really help you with that. And,
Yes, I look forward to that. That would be great.
yeah. And now that I know kind of like where you're at and a little bit more about you, as I come across, people that may be able to help you, I will definitely keep you in connection with them, because I think, there's a lot of different people that I have that are all over the place. So, and then once you're ready to go into stores, one of the things that hopefully I can do is help connect you with a lot of these other stores, because I have in the independent retail space for natural products, like small health food stores, we have a whole network across the country that is we all come together once a year at a conference in Minnesota. And then we have another group that gets together in Florida once a year. And so
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
that is my goal ultimately, is to kind of elevate all, because I grew up in a neighborhood where, I spent a lot of time in the African American community. My best friend is Black. She has, brown skin, and her mother was she passed away, but she's one of my absolute heroes in the world. Like, she taught me how to be a woman, how to lead, how to stand up for myself, how to be bold. And she was so graceful. Her name was Pearl Gandy. She was the sweetest, most graceful woman who took on all kinds of crap in the world, and but did it so gracefully. She never complained. She never showed stress, and I grew up in Pennsylvania. And so I when I moved to Atlanta, it was an eye-opening experience for me. And I was a little bit angry that the world was different in Atlanta than it was in my sheltered little neighborhood where Mrs. Gandy, that's what Mrs. Gandy kept me safe, kept me, away from the kind of some of the ugly things. So like the way I honor her and her family is to do as much as I can in my little world to make sure that more and more people are exposed to as much of the culture as they can get, and to take your story. And if I have a platform, I want to make sure everybody hears your story. And so that's one of the things I'm doing this month. I'm really excited to be able to share everybody's stories, and hopefully from here on out, we'll take it, kind of to the next level, and as much as we can do, in Nuts and Berries. So I'm really excited about it. And now we would love to have you come in and demo anytime that you're available. And then we're going to also do some like little passive demos as well this month. So, or in fact,
Okay, well, just send me a schedule and we'll see how we can work it out.
okay, perfect. All right. Oh, it's so nice to talk to you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not really. Not really. I just want to say thank you, and thank you to your staff for opening up your store to Mama Power Kale Salad Dressing. I look forward to a long business relationship with you guys, and I'm just thankful for your customers for enjoying the dressing, for you enjoying your dressing. And I know your managers enjoy the dressing. They're like, oh, she's here, or when my folks are delivering, they're excited. And so I just wanted to say thank you for doing business with us.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, and we'll be in touch. And as I get this kind of cut up, I'll make sure I send you the little snippets and copy you on all our social media and stuff. So, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.